What kind of mistake might cut you off from God? Is there something that you can mess up so badly in your life that it can separate you from God's love and eternal life, his plan and purpose for you? Is that possible? Now, I'm a Christian, so I try every day to live in the purposes that I believe God has for me, the way God says to live. But you know what? I don't get it right. I'm not always very good at being a Christian. I want to tell you today about someone who saw Jesus on the cross, who had a very close perspective of the cross. And through this season, we're looking at those people from the Easter story who saw Jesus on the cross in some way and trying to discover what we can learn from this. Today, I want to talk about the two criminals on the cross beside Jesus, the crosses on either side of him. They're mentioned in every single one of the Gospels, the four books in the Bible about the stories of Jesus. And two of the Gospels say that they were there on the crosses and they mocked Jesus. Just as everyone around him was doing, they hurled insults at him. One of the Gospels, John's Gospel, it just says that they were there. But in Luke's Gospel, we hear a different perspective on the story. We're not sure why we get a different perspective in one Gospel. It doesn't show inconsistency, but what it shows is that different writers wanted to highlight different things that happened in these same situations. And in Luke's Gospel, we read this. One of the criminals who hung there hurled insults at Jesus. "Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us." He was saying, get us down off these crosses. Come on, do the miracles. Let's go. But the other criminal rebuked him, told him off. "Don't you fear God?" he said. "Since you are under the same sentence. We're punished justly, but we're getting what our deeds deserve. But this man has done nothing wrong." And then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus answered him, "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." Now, the first man, the first criminal on the cross, he was in pain. This isn't a nice situation. They're not having a chat in a jail cell or on the streets, on the hill, preparing. They are hanging from crosses, slowly dying the most agonizing death imaginable. And the first criminal, he takes his pain and his suffering and he hurls it back. He hurls it back at Jesus. He mocks him, another person in the same position as him. But he turns his pain onto others. And yet the other man, he's very different. See, both these men, they were criminals. And the Bible, different translations of the Bible say that they were robbers, rebels, thieves. The word is the same word that Jesus uses for the robbers in the story of the Good Samaritan. It's the same word that he uses any time in the Bible when he talks about a violent attack to take something from others. These were violent men hanging from the cross because they'd done violent and terrible things. And so what's different about the way that the other robber, the second man, responds, that means Jesus responds to him in such a different way? He does three things. He says, "I know that I've messed up in my life." He humbly recognizes that he's done a lot of stuff wrong. The second thing he recognizes is he recognizes Jesus, and he says, "You are the Messiah. You've done nothing wrong. I know that you are the answer to what I'm searching for in life. You are my only hope in this moment." And the third thing he does is he just builds that relationship. He communicates to Jesus and says, can I be with you? Can I be in your kingdom? Will you remember me? And Jesus' answer is yes. The same offer's on the table for us today. We all mess up, and we just got to recognize that. No humans are perfect. In this cancel culture, blame culture, critical culture, where we very readily look for someone to blame for everything that goes wrong, let's just turn things around and look at ourselves and say, do you know what, I mess up. Don't be like that first guy on the cross who was saying, slagging off Jesus because of his pain, because of his guilt. We've got to say, I've messed up. Secondly, we've got to recognize that we need someone to save us who hasn't. Jesus never sinned. He never messed up. He is the answer. His way is the answer for life, not just here on earth, but eternally. And the third thing we need to do is actually talk to him, begin a relationship with him, get to know him. Christians call this prayer, but really, if it helps, if you've never prayed before, just think of it as imagining, knowing that God is there and having that conversation with him in the air. Just talk. You might feel silly at first, but it's a powerful thing to do. I pray today that we will take something from my ramblings. I hope that you have a fantastic day and the Lord will be with you. God bless you. See you soon.